Hey, how's it going? Troy here with My Readiness Journey. Got a new name, new logo, like it? Yeah, and I'm here in my home studio, my living room. All right, so I like to think of myself as a law-abiding citizen, but I've got bad news. I'm likely a future felon. Stick around and find out why. All right, I warned you guys that I was gonna get back into doing some of the Pew-Pew videos, and this happens to be one of them. This is a gun I bought about a year and a half ago. And this actually looks like one of those evil black guns.
I've held an AR-15 in my hand. I wish I had it. It is as heavy as 10 boxes that you might be moving.
But first off, it is cleared and I flagged it, and I do not have a magazine. There's a lot of new rules on the tube. So, in fact, I'm gonna drop some footage in later and I need to go find a magazine that's less than 30 rounds to even show you me shooting this thing. But here's the deal. This is not a rifle. This is considered a pistol because the barrel is under 16 inches and it has this thing right here, which is called a pistol brace or stabilizing brace. And it's designed to open up and your arm can go through it and you can basically fire this gun one-armed. So it's people with disabilities, that kind of thing. Okay, so let's back up. In the 30s, there's the National Firearms Act, the NFA, and it was actually a law that has become an organization within the government. And so that's a little messed up. But they were like guys with sawed-off shotguns, and they were just trying to control, like, you know, make the playing ground even, maybe, I think is kind of what it was about, because there were criminals that were modifying things and having an advantage. So they made the NFA, which is still around today, and they're involved with the ATF, or the AFT, as our president likes to call it.
I'm proud to nominate David Chipman to serve as the director of the AFT.
And yeah, they kind of make definitions and decide when things are okay and not okay. The difference between a pistol and a short-barreled rifle is this device, or has been this device. This is a pistol brace. Otherwise, it would have a stock, which is a little more like what you'd see on a gun. The thing with that is that you need to pay $200, send in, like, I don't know, a blood sample, other samples, body fluids, I don't know, but your fingerprints, all kind of stuff, and $200 to make this thing have a stock and not a pistol brace. So many people, and I'm talking, they figure about 40,000 of these have been sold to individuals. They have changed what an SBR is. They have changed the definition. An SBR now is anything that can be shouldered. In other words, if it's designed in any way, and I'm not gonna do it, but if it's designed to touch your shoulder, it's considered an SBR. So you have to register it in the next 3 months. The real kind thing they're doing is not charging the $200. So I'm sure there's a lot of people that'll be like, oh yeah, totally. I will go and turn in all my paperwork and pictures and all the things that they want, and I'll be on this registry and I'm saving $200. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just telling you right now. So there are a couple other options that I've heard of. One is making this barrel. This is an 8-inch barrel. By the way, this is a Banshee, CMG Banshee. This is an 8-inch barrel. So this is like a pistol. If you just ignored this part of it, it'd be like a big honking pistol, right? The largest handgun I own is a 5-inch barrel. So this is bigger than that. And I love this gun because I'm really accurate with it, because unlike a regular handgun, I'm able to put my cheek here and maybe my shoulder touches it, and it gives me 3 points of contact. And at the range, I'm lights out with this thing. I love it. In fact, I put a weapons light on it, and it's got a red dot. It's actually a green dot. This is my couch gun. This kind of hangs out. Now, I don't have little children or anything. This hangs out on the couch by, just resting up against the couch. This is my go-to for my home defense. So there are 3 things you can do. You can make your barrel longer, which is like, I'd have to double the length of this, which is kind of ridiculous. You could take the brace off. and I'm not gonna do it on camera, but I just took it off. That's how easy and how fast it is. Or you can ignore it, I guess, which that would make you a felon if this rule sticks around. Now here's the thing, there's a ton of gun rights groups that are gonna be suing and going after this because this is totally an overreach of the government. All right, so I'm gonna run to the range, and I'm picking up a magazine that's shorter than 30 rounds because YouTube has an issue with that. So when you see the B-roll I'm gonna drop in right now, it's with that magazine. And I'm gonna be firing this from my cheek. And I've done it before, and I can tell you right now, it is still pretty cool. It works pretty well. Do I like the pistol brace on it more? Absolutely. So the other thought I had too is, instead of just making this an SBR and turning the paperwork in and all that, which I don't really want to do, I may suppress this with a suppressor. Some people call it a silencer. It doesn't make it silent, it just makes it quieter. It's more of a safety item than anything. People get all worked up about it because of movies. I may put a pin suppressor in place, another 8 inches, which would make this a 16-inch barrel. I couldn't take the suppressor off, so I got to figure that part out, and like maintaining it and cleaning it and all. I think you can do that from the top. Anyway, I'm fairly new to firearms in the last couple of years, so I know there's some options. I would love for this to be suppressed. I don't actually have that big a problem paying a couple $100 to make this suppressed. And then I can put a normal stock on it because it's a rifle. It's a full-length rifle. If you're in the same boat, and there's a lot of us because there's over 40 million of these floating around, comment below, tell me what you're doing. Yeah, let me know what you think. Also, I think this track that this rides on can't be on the firearm, so I'd have to do a different tube here, because this tube needs to be here on this firearm because the bolt, like an AR, actually travels back into it. So I've got to figure that part out too. So there's a lot of things to consider. I'm hoping that the ATF gets their butt sued and they get their hands off our guns. I know there's a lot of bad things in this world, but taking this away from me is not going to make it better. You need to go after criminals and people that maybe shouldn't have firearms because of their mental state. Law-abiding citizens are not the issue. All right, so that's my rant. I told you I was gonna do a Pew-Pew video, and I did. So get off my back. All right, blessings on you. Continue to be ready and be blessed. Peace.